Hey everybody, it's Eve, author of Detox with Eve. I cured my chemical sensitivity about 10 years ago and have been helping people get well ever since. This is my book. You can get it on Amazon. You just have to Google my last name in the Amazon bar and you can find it. I do believe it's $9.99 in paperback form. So if you're showing up, don't forget to smash the likes, hit subscribe, hit the bell button so you can get all my videos. I have a lot to say about health, healing, detoxing, and wellness in general. The first thing that I want to do tonight is just share a little bit about myself. I haven't done that for a while. I have some videos. They're like 9 years old, telling you all about my chemical sensitivity, because a lot of people actually don't believe me that I got well, because in the communities out there, it's mostly the people in the communities are people that didn't get well. So they don't really, a lot of people don't believe that you can get well from this illness. And when I was sick, I never heard of anyone getting well. I'm the first one that I knew of, but I do know of some people since then, and I've helped quite a few people recover. So I was going about my life. I was very extremely healthy. Even to this day, all of my physical exams have come out like perfect. My blood pressure, all that stuff I've always had very good. I've always been into fitness, always been healthy. But what happened to me one day to the next was all of a sudden, I just couldn't believe how much laundry detergent people were using and how much perfume. And like all of a sudden, there was just this hyper awareness of all of the cleaning products in my environment. And at first I just thought and it would get really irritable, whenever I would smell it, and it would just, I can't exactly remember what a reaction is like anymore. I just know that it had a lot to do with wanting to flee. You have to get out of there, feel like you're choking. You just feel like you're in a poison environment. I can't remember all the details of what it used to feel like. But I do remember, so I used to do Zumba. I was a Zumba teacher, but also I used to take a lot of dance classes. So I would be going in my one Laurent class, it's sports club. And, I just feel like, wow, everybody needed to stay away from me. Why was everyone exuding this awful smells? And it was just horrible. I just felt like people were dousing their clothes, in these awful smells, and wearing tons of perfume and putting nasty stuff in their hair. And so eventually, pretty quick, I figured out it's me. It's not the world hasn't changed. It's me that's changed. And so I did some Googling, figured out real quick it was chemical sensitivity. And of course, I didn't try to not go to the gym. That took me a long time to actually just realize, what? I just need to stay home and not do anything, because every time you get a chemical reaction with chemical sensitivity, you're actually hurting your body, getting sicker. It's when you're hurting and you're not well, it's because there's something in your body's telling you is not good. So I used to try to I love that gym. I love those classes. And I would be in there. Kept trying to go. At one point, I even wore a mask in there, but it just didn't work. Well, now it would be normal, right? But at that time, it wasn't. And it was just so bad. And I remember having a lot of problems with people, because I would just try to get a little bit of hey, would you mind, standing a little bit further away? People would go crazy. People would accuse me of getting a lot of trouble for being racist. But it wasn't the racism, it was the perfume or whoever, anyone that was too close to me. I just had to be hey, do you mind, if I go here, then you go there, people just did not, they didn't like it, and then after a while, when I knew what it was, I would tell people I was very chemical sensitive, and then they were really not nice then either. I was thinking about this a lot. Because it really changed my perception of people. I used to think the general public was pretty nice people until I got chemical sensitive. People were quite rude and mean to me. They always just treated me like oh, you're just a prima donna, you want everything your own way, or oh, what's the matter with you, or oh, what do you mean chemical sensitivity? Like, people were total jerks. And I just remember, it would always be like, you go home and cry because you're just trying to work out, you're just trying to do the things you love doing, be with the people that you love being with, and it's like I couldn't get it to work. So I did develop asthma. One day I was dancing. I've always been very into dance. I was dancing. I was outside. It was 4th of July, and then all of a sudden I just stopped breathing. That was bad. So in those times, a lot of my chemical sensitivity manifested with my lungs, and then, with like tiredness, neurology, and just really not feeling good. So I developed asthma. I stopped breathing. That happened a few times. That was really scary. I always had like healthy, amazing lungs. Hey, somebody's here. That's so cute. Hey, it's a rad realtor. Oh, that's cool. You're a realtor. Where are you from? Yeah. So everybody come in, ask all your questions you want. Don't forget to smash the likes. So where was I? This is back when I was sick. Yeah, it was an awful time. Like, anytime I was in a house, people were cooking something in an aluminum pan. Even after I got a little bit better, I ended up going to Greece. Like, I got better after a while, a year or so. America. Yeah, America. I live in Washington, D.C. I got better, so I would try to do more stuff because, of course, you want to live, and do things, like go on an airplane, go in a taxi. And I just remember I went to Greece, and there was some kind of factory near there. It was like near the ocean. You think it'd be so beautiful, a small town, but there was some kind of like factory near there. Everything was like, had a film of plastic. I got pretty sick there too. And I just remember like these nice, beautiful people like trying to cook for me. And I was just like, I can't be in your house because they were cooking in aluminum pans, or anybody that was ever cooking in Teflon, anytime there was any kind of candles, anything that people wore. I mean, that's so cute. Yeah. Hey, I have 2 people. That's so amazing. I think that one might be, I don't even know what the hell that means. So it was very bad, very sad. I made some videos about holidays and stuff because even I remember one Christmas, my sister was cooking like a whole bunch of egg, omelets, but like with 3 or 4 Teflon pans. And I just remember asking, can you guys mind opening the window? Like, they knew I had chemical sensitivity. And they're like, oh, you always want everything your own way. I just went outside and cried on the front porch in the freezing cold. This person, you only have 1 emoji. You should try something new. Mostly I just get spammers and weird trolly people on here. But it is a little distracting. I'm going to tune it out. So anyway, if you have chemical sensitivity, it manifests in a lot of ways. I was working with one girl she had like very extreme, excruciating pains in her bladder. There are people who get anaphylactic shock. There are people that get so weak they can't even get out of bed. There's a lot of people like that. In fact, I didn't get that bad. I was very tired. I had a lot of brain fog. I had a lot of memory issues, brain fog. I always felt like I was in a sort of foggy, sleepy state. Well, I won't say always, but frequently. I had a hard time, like when I woke up, I didn't really feel awake. And I think I'm going to put you on to sleep because you only have 1 emoji. And that. Put user in timeout. It's so cute. There, you're in timeout. So I immediately started getting well and detoxing, but I still got sicker and sicker for a while, for several months up to a year, which is really depressing news if you're just finding this. But everybody's different. I mean, I think I healed fairly quickly. Some people heal real quickly. Everybody's really different. The worst thing is that you keep trying to live your life. You keep trying to do the same things that you always love doing, and you really can't, like it just is it's just a disaster, and it's a people, I remember going out with people and I'd be like, oh, and there would be some friends would be really amazing. They'd be like, okay, I didn't wear any perfume and didn't put anything on. But if you're chemical sensitivity, they always have something on. Maybe it was perfume from 4 days ago on their jacket. And that will make you very sick. I remember I worked with one lady and she would her kids would go in the store, just like the CVS, to buy something, come out. And then her kids, just from the toxins that they picked up, would make her sick. Like I could literally smell people's deodorant 5 feet away. That's, and not just I smelled it, is that it really bothered me, So anyway, I haven't had any reactions for several years now. If I get around really nasty lung irritants, I will cough after a while. But that's just my lungs. I realize these are my lungs. They're cleaning. They're like saying, you know what, I don't want that stuff in my lungs. Cough. It's not like I can go to a smoky bar. Most people can't. So, I wrote a little list of things that I did. A lot of people online, I remember there was this awful, what was that group? It was like a forum, it was really, Facebook was just starting in those days. I'm sure I was the first. I think this girl Rhonda in Australia and me, we might have been some of the first. Actually, there was a few. There was like MCS America. There was a few that were had any presence at all as far as groups and stuff go. But I kind of swore, I was like, what, if I ever get well, I'm going to help people. So I stuck to that. And so I was going to say these groups can be very depressing and dark. And there's a lot of people in there who are like, everybody thinks that they know, oh, chemical sensitivity is caused by this, or you have to do this, or you can't do that. And so I would try to do everything everyone said because I didn't know anything. And I was very sick and very desperate. But after I got well and, spent so many years in these kind of groups, you realize a lot of people, they don't really necessarily know what they're talking about. Like I could say my case of chemical sensitivity, this is what helped me or didn't, but nobody's studying autopsies of chemical sensitivity people. People don't really know what it is. People don't really know why it's caused. And it's, only, in the last couple of years, people have gotten out of the realm of that it's not an illness. It's definitely an illness. Thank God people finally recognize it, worldwide, because there's so many people that have it. The more people are having it every day. Sometimes I do know that it's a symptom of other issues. If you have any kind of chemical sensitivity, really just try to get your health checked out in every way and make sure it's not something else. Because it can be I personally feel like my body didn't want any more toxins. So if your body's in a kind of weakened state, maybe it just can't handle one more toxin. And it's your body's way of creating this hypersensitivity to the toxins so that you cannot be around them. I was in forced detox. And so, if you have some other kind of immune issue or whatever, I know a lot of things overlap with chemical sensitivity. Just want to make sure that everyone, gets checked out as much as they can. That said, so these groups, and even as people still, write me all the time, oh, it's caused by this, it's caused by that. And, you can't ever, detox this. And I live in this one kind of house and I can't ever get well here. And, none of these things are true. You can really get well anywhere, because even in the worst environment, there's one sick person and one well person. I got sick in my apartment. I know there was some stuff here that really hurt me, but somebody else living here probably will, do not get sick. So it's really, the whole combination. So we got to crack the code and find a way to get well, which is why, it's good not spend too much time trying to figure out why you have it or how much heavy metals. People are convinced, they have this, that, and the other, which is, it's okay. But I just treated myself like I did have all of those things and I just started working on it. So I just feel better to put all of your energy into recovering And sometimes you have to commiserate with your other friends because, you know, I don't know any illness that's as difficult as this one. You know, maybe like schizophrenia or something, you know, like it's very completely affects every part of your life. And, you know, it's not just, you know, it's social because you can't be with people. So now we have COVID, and I think a lot of people are like, yeah, that's like welcome to my life, chemical sensitivity. So what did I do to get well? I read these books, Sherry Rogers. She had a book called Wellness Beyond All Odds and Detox or Die. So those books were very hard for me to understand at the time, so were a little bit hard to read. But I just kind of kept at it. And her big thing was the Detox Cocktail, which I did. And the Detox Cocktail is glutathione, vitamin C, and alpha lipoic acid. Those are just 3 supplements. People get really into like what kind of glutathione or whatever. I just bought like one. It wasn't that expensive. It did not have tons of money at that time. And I'm sure it worked. You know, sometimes people are selling stuff. They're like, only the nasal kind works. Only this kind works. Well, of course, you know, get the best kind that you can. But these things are not deeply tested. A lot of things sometimes comes out of marketing and that's funny. Hi, Joshua. Comes out of marketing and people's opinions, or, you know, a lot of things just circulates, you know. So I do not remember the exact doses of this, but it's on my website, detoxthebodymcs.com. Just look up Detox Cocktail. I took a tons of supplements back then. I ate a lot of green drinks with like parsley and cilantro. Is an amazing heavy metal detox. I did have a lot of amalgams, mercury fillings, and I did get those removed with a biodentist. Sometimes people go crazy on the teeth. Like I actually have a whole bunch of root canals, and I have to get one next week. Ugh. So for some reason, my teeth aren't that great. Somehow it's probably related to chemical sensitivity, but yeah, you know, some people are like, oh, you know, pull your tooth. When you really get into reading this health stuff, it's like a rabbit hole, you know. So I've decided to keep my root canals. I'm not going around with holes in my mouth. Hopefully in the future I'll get like stem cells, have everything fixed back up. But I got well with root canals. There's a lot of people who are this Hulda Clark. So I mean, she did have some good information, but she was a human being, and any of us are going to have right and wrong information. None of us are going to be completely right. We're all misguided in some way. But she, you know, they were like, yeah, you pull out all these root canals because it's a dead tooth and it's going to cause this, that, and the other. Well, maybe it does or maybe it doesn't, but I feel great. I got tons of root canals. And I'm going to have another one. But you know what? Whatever. So and also in the Sherry Rogers was the coffee enemas, which I did almost daily. You know, because I did it because once you do it, you feel immediately better. So I was very motivated. Once I got the courage to do it, you know, I didn't get that much courage. I just did it because I did not want to die, and I did not want to stay in the house for the rest of my life. So I started doing that. So I spent a lot of time in the bathroom. I had made 2 videos about that, how to do it. And it's really not that scary. You know, it's so funny because like people, you know, they're like sterilize everything, you know, but it's like, you know, what comes out of your intestines is not sterile. I mean, that's why we wash our hands after, because it's gross. Anyway, I mean, I put clean, you know, filtered water and reverse osmosis, perfect water, but you know, it's not like you get like scared, like you're having surgery or something. It's really not like super complicated. I did saunas probably many times a week. I'm going to put a good link to a couple of good saunas that you can get for your house, or you can use steam sauna at the gym, which I did a lot too. I did grounding in nature. I'm a huge fan. I made a video on that. I really feel like it was so healing to my body. I mean, they have done studies that nature increases your healing capacity by 400 times, just the sounds of nature. And there's a great movie on grounding called Grounded, and I made a short video just to kind of tell you how to do it. Meditation and yoga, because, you know, once you get into the chemical sensitivity world, you're like brain retraining. You're like, oh, okay. So you have to change our neural pathways. And I had a friend who was a massage, and he said that my ribs were very constricted, I guess, you know, like they weren't flexible. And I really think that had a lot to do with my chemical sensitivity and my asthma. And also I used to cough all the time, and I had a lot of lung pain. I used to wake up, I felt like 100 years old, you know, wake up in the morning like, ugh, just my lungs kind of hurt a little bit. So he told me, you know, our ribs, they're not like a skeleton where they're brittle, but our ribs are actually, you know, our ribs are alive, our bones are alive, and they expand and contract. So when you don't have a lot of movement in your ribs, it's, you know, you're not breathing deeply. So I honestly think that's a huge part of my illness, was that I had a chronic PTSD from my childhood, where they call it complex PTSD, when your parents are crazy. Yeah. So you're not breathing. You're breathing very shallow because you're in that flight or fight state. So a lot of people are doing this anyway, especially now, all the tension or just people in general. You get in this habit of just breathing like real shallow, and that's a very stressed out state. We're stressed out. We breathe shallow. So I was just in a state of chronic stress, and it finally just broke down my body. So a lot of my healing was really breathing. I do also different kind of dance and stuff, and I have a lot of movement in my ribs now, and I get a lot of air. Your lungs are actually a detox organ. So every time you exhale, you're exhaling chemicals, not chemicals, toxins. You know, it's a way of expelling. So it's an amazing thing. I was very adamant about doing enemas back then, especially if you're taking tons of different kinds of any kind of herbs or any kind of detox protocols, because what happens when, say, oil of oregano, a lot of things are killing off toxins, cilantro, even the vitamin C and everything, but sometimes these toxins can find somewhere else to go. So you want to just like flush everything out of your body as much as you can, and it just gets a lot of toxins out. I did a lot of different kind of colon cleansing, gut cleansing. I have videos on that. Does anyone have any questions? Because I'm gonna cut this one a little bit short. Sauna, yoga, you know, exercise, and I was thinking a lot, you know, when you have an illness, it's really causes you to change, you know, like the same person that got sick, you know, you need to change who you are. So you have to change a lot of stuff, you know, like I just changed my habits, my breathing, my environment. Oh my gosh. I mean, my life was very much night and day getting rid of toxins out of my environment. And, you know, when you buy paint, you have to buy non-toxic paint. You have to do everything non-toxic. I wouldn't even have plastics in my house. I was so sensitive to everything. Like, it was rough. So, yeah, doing your house is one of the main things. So that and the Sherry Rogers is the enemas, the saunas, the Detox Cocktail, and the get toxin avoidance. Of course, you're going to avoid toxins. You're going to change your diet, completely cut out any kind of GMO stuff. At one point, I quit eating wheat. I did a video on that too, and I've never gone back to eating it. I do believe it's inflammatory. So you just have to do a million things that are good for your health. You know, find out different herbs and different kind of ways to decrease inflammation in your body, decrease parasites, funguses, viruses. So it's like that was like a science experiment, you know, to myself. I had to change a lot of stuff. I had to not, you know, worry so much. I had to really learn how to relax. And when you're in the relaxed state, your body is healing. It's called the parasympathetic nervous system. When you're in like a deep meditation or self-hypnosis or some other acupuncture, you get in this, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is like the relaxation response. And so your body is healing anytime you're in that. So I had to spend a lot of time chilling out, going to nature, meditating, you know, and that actually, and then just kind of seeking different kind of positive reinforcements. So, you know, at the end of the day, you feel really good. Like I feel amazing. I wake up every day full of energy. I feel good all day. And before I was just dragging, you know, very irritable. Every once in a while I get a little irritable and I just kind of have to stop and go like, what's going on? Might need some more kind of nutrients or something. I'm going to cut it short. I also wanted to, red light therapy. I didn't have it when I was sick, but I do believe it's the best healing modality that you can use for your body. I'm going to run grab it real quick. Hold on. Red light therapy. Anyway, it's this huge device. You can get a small one, but I have the big one. I do meditation in front of it in the morning and Wim Hof breathing. So this is in my link if you want to check it out. But it actually gives energy into your body. It's just so healing if you just start reading up on it. Pretty much anything that's healing. It's healing. It's healing for your mood. It gives you energy, makes you feel good. So what else? Wim Hof breathing is amazing. I do it every day at noon. I think I'm offering it free right now. There might be some kind of link in there. Click on my meetups. It's on my meetup. I do Zoom Wim Hof breathing and a little bit of working out. And then, of course, if you're home, you probably are working. So, you know, I start my own businesses. I have a few businesses, but one of them is I made a few books, and this book is called The 60-Minute Startup Workbook, which I did. That's my name, Eve Hennessy. It goes with this book by Ramesh Domtha, and it's a proven system to start your business in 1 hour a day and get your first paying customers in 30 days or less. So it's the workbook that goes along with it. We have an audio and a book. I mean, I like audios. I'm very lazy for reading. And so if you're interested in doing this program, have a mastermind group that we're going to be doing for 2 months. And we're going to be going through the book. It tells you every little thing you need for a business. And it tells you like the quickest, you know, easiest way to get your paying customers. Because that's really the main point of business is to get some money, which is very essential these days, especially if you have chemical sensitivity and you can't be in every environment. All right. Write me your questions. You can write questions below. Write your comments. Smash the likes, hit the subscribe, and come back. I'm going to be coming back. I'm going to be doing some different, you know, once I get some people coming in the chat, we will start having more specific question and answer, talk about doing enemas. We could talk about whatever we want to talk about. If somebody has a particular problem, a lot of people with chemical sensitivity have a lot of different kind of problems. And, you know, chemical sensitivity can be a rash, can be hair loss, can be just stress and anxiety, you know. When it gets to be the real syndrome, then it's just everything bothers you and you're very, very sick. But I think a lot of people have a less, you know, a lighter sort of multiple chemical sensitivity, which is not like the full-blown syndrome where you have to stay home and avoid everything all the time. All right. Have a great night. Thanks for listening to my video. Let me know what you want to hear about. I will talk about it. I have written some books, and I have studied for many years on all the different areas of healing. All right. Take care. Ciao.